welcome back in. Second half action here between the Dragons and the Hawks for the Cambridge Basketball League Championship. It's a one score ball game. Dragons up 32-29 over the Hawks. It's going to be Milius to get us back underway. 20 more minutes to settle it. Two teams scarcely separable during the regular season. 1 and 2 in the standings. They've taken their place in the final. Made it through last weekend's semi-finals. It's great ball movement. Triples on the way. Triples down. Nothing but net. That's the start that they wanted. Pranas Bubale. The Hawks started this game so strong. How can they respond? Triples on the way. Triples down. The three is good. Edgar's Rosenthal's. So White 10 after the play. Picking up a personal foul. And that's the third personal foul, first team. Drop down low, couldn't go. Turned over, and now flying the other way is Milius. Slowing things down, waits for Laddin to get over the half court. Triples on the way, just off the mark, not kept in play. And that's going to be Hawks ball. Trying to go inside, strong play, strong defense. Nothing wrong with that. Kestutis Palabinskas doing what he likes to do. Just a super sturdy player. And two shots coming up for Marius Mikavicius. Foul called on Pranas Bubale. I think that's his second. He heads to the stripe. Third, in fact, personal. So two shots for Mikavicius. Bubale sent to the bench. He was replaced by Urabanskas. So the second goes. Good ball movement. Triples off the mark. Gets the rebound. And that's a big three once again. Sasha Laddin. Beautiful pass. Can't get the make. And eventually the rebound goes the way of the Dragons. Taking it the other way. And a guy down low, chose not to use him. Gets it back. Jasikanis. Step back, triple. Just a little short. Into the hands of Towns. Off the backboard. Nothing wrong with that. All the way down the floor to Milius. Back over the timeline. Laddin goes inside. Back to Laddin. No call on the play. Tapped away by Watkins. Triple on the way. Finally goes. the favourable bounce. 41 plays 36. Rejected. Tried to send it down the floor. Unable to do so initially. Takes it the long way around. Triples on the way. Too strong. Great rebound though from Rubinskas. Larin tried to step into the three. Drives inside. Rejected by Towns. That time was Polubinskas. Change coming. Adamaitis checking in for Jasikovic. Triples on the way. Triples down once again. The Dragons in the ascendancy. Sasha Larin. How do the Hawks respond? There is time left in this game. Plenty of it. Triples down. Beautiful finish. Brandon Towns. Cool as you like. Good communication there by Joe Watkins. And a turnover. Too strong on the finish. Edwards. Good defense, I'm going to say, to the Dragons there. There's Larin just over the timeline. Took his time getting there. Triples on the way. Off the mark, Watkins, another good rebound. And now the Hawks. Opportunity to drive. Good pass inside, oh, rejected. It's a huge bit of defending, but there is a foul in there. 12 with the push. So it's going to be 2 shots at the stripe. Polubinskas, second personal. At first glance, I thought it was clean. However, the officials always have the best seat in the house. Polubinskas gets the first. Sorry, Mikavicius gets the first. Polubinskas send him to the stripe. Splits them, 4 points the difference. Skipped over the top. Good ball movement. Brilliant bit of play. Right. Jasikovic tries to go for the little prayer shot with the easy strip. In the land of the Giants, the smaller players can be so dangerous. It's Hawks ball. In fact, Hawks timeout. They're going to talk things over. I'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back in Cambridge Sport. It's the Hawks. It's the Dragons. Who are going to have their wings clipped by this one? Hawks just taking time. Again, they've seen a lead from the start of the game. Being chipped back by the Dragons, and now they're down by 4. Every basket in this entire game has felt enormous. Just like that, the Hawks back within 1. 3 points by the captain, Brandon Towns. Made no mistakes from outside. Going inside now, Larin. Adamaitis did a good job bringing in that pass. Watkins. Watkins on 3 fouls. He has been an important part of this Hawks second half, I've got to say. Edwards thought about it. Gets to his spot. Just off the mark. Fantastic rebounding though by the Hawks. Waits for the jump in. Kicks it back. Triples on the way. Just a bit too strong there from Rosenthal's. So it's going to be Hawks ball. Down by 1. Really been chipping away. Third period action here. Oh, good bodies everywhere. Kick to the corner. Triples on the way. No good. Triple once more. And Bouboulay there for the Dragons. And that's 48 up for the Dragons. Towns looking to take over for the Hawks. Triples on the way. Just off the mark once again by the Dragons. And now Towns looking to go inside through contact. It is a foul. Headed to the stripe to shoot 2. So the foul's called on Brabinskas. So communication, very important from our match officials. 48 plays 45 is the score. Dragons up by 3. Hawks at the stripe with 2, and it's Brandon Towns. Sinks to first. Gets them both. We're back to 1. 48 plays 47. Rubinskas sits down. Palabinskas in the game. Lost the handle for a second there. It looked like Larin. Triples on the way. Oh, triples down. Good make. Jasikinis. Just like that, Dragons stretch their lead back out once again. Edwards battling through. Good finish. Using the glass. 2-point game in the third. To the wing, got a touch on it, got a big piece of that, did Towns. as Watkins has headed to the bench, replaced by Greg Richards for the Hawks. Triple's on the way. Just off the mark. Spin move, Dragons looking to go inside. That's going to be a foul called on Towns. Holding, so it's foul on the floor. Second personal on Brandon Towns. Corner three. Oh, Bouboulay. Brilliant rebound. Larin looked to go inside again. I think he thought he had his landing space taken. Both sides starting to bit of chat between the two sides. And I think part of the issue was I think they felt their landing space had been compromised somewhat. Triple's on the way. Just short. Goes back in. Beautiful finish. Following his shot. Ties it up. Edgar's Lassis makes it a 51-51 ball game. Triple's on the way. Just off the mark. And that's going to do it. End of the period. We're tied at 51 with 10 to play. We'll be back in just a moment. We're back inside Cam Unisport. Cambridge Basketball League final. Final 10 minutes to separate these two inseparable sides. 51-51 is the score. South Links Dragons battled back, had a lead, started to stretch their legs, but the Hawks have not gone away in this third period. And now we're headed to the fourth. Dragons, they got by Cambridge Cats in the semi-final. And the Hawks, they got by Littleport Zalgiris. And it's going to be Edgar's Lassis to inbound. Final 10 minutes of the season. Unless, of course, we have OT. Could happen. The way these sides have been competing, battling. Edwards, little handoff inside. Good finish. Mikavicius makes no mistakes. The Hawks up by 2. Sickness. Larin. Lovely pass underneath. And a good finish. Somebody got a touch on that ball. But I wasn't stopping. Pulabanskis finishing under the basket. Triple. A little too flat there from Richards. But it's a good look. It was open for him to take. Larin. Too easy. Too easy for him inside. Had all the space in the world. Mid-range jumper. Edwards thought about the triple. Good defense. Well played. Palabinskas finished with the ball. And that's going to be a foul. So 2 shots are coming up for Mestas Milius. In fact, correction, foul was called on the floor. Just gets it inbound in time. Jasikanis. Bubele kicks out, Larin. Another triple from the player coach, the leader of this team. And the Dragons lead back out to 5. Hawks have to respond, they kick it, the triple's on the way. Rattles around, good rebound inside. Captains lead by example, Brandon Towns. No exception to that, triple's on the way. Larin sinks it from the top again. Cannot be stopped, cannot be cooled down right now. Spin move, can't get it off the glass. Rebound taken in once again, Sasha Larin. Larin, not again, short, it goes inside this time. Good battle between the bigs inside. It's a held ball, it's going to stay with the Dragons. The 212s going to work. Balabinskas and Mikasavius. Essential floor maintenance being carried out. Again, have to have a dry, safe playing surface. It is absolutely a non-negotiable. As substitution, sitting down, Modestas Milius. And in fact, timeout has been taken by the Dragons. And as they're taking time, so will we. Back in just a moment. Dragons lead at 61-55 over the Hawks. Back inside. Cambridge Sports 61 plays 55. It is Dragons ball. They have the lead in this 4th and final period of play. Plenty of time left. 7:16 to go in the period. Over the top, Palabinskas, Larin. Adamaitis, a little too strong into the hands of Towns. Hawks ball. Richards gives it back inside to Towns. And a finish is good for 2. Mikavicius. Great ball movement, good finish. Dragons moving it around, the finish under the basket, Palabinskas. Just once they get into their rhythm, the passing, the defense. You saw just then on that play, he went for the swipe, didn't get it. And Adamaitis out alone, finishes. And just like that, Dragons with a dangerous lead. It's a great charge taken by Pranas Bubale. It's a sort of play. It's the kind of moment that could change a game. I'd say that if that was the Hawks taking the charge. As for the Dragons, what does it do for them? It sort of reimposes their control. Gives them even more of a lift. Takes the charge, goes for the triple, doesn't take it. I think I'm not entirely sure who he intended to pass to. And the Hawks, sensing this possession to be a big one, they take time. They trail 65-57 to the South Links Dragons. .546 left in the contest. The Dragons up 65-57 over the Hawks. And it is Hawks ball. They're going to pick him up high up the floor as it's Towns. The double comes. Saw the lane. Good to go for it, Mikavesius. Palabinskas. Big hack on the arm, couldn't get the finish, headed to the stripe though. Just sick of this. As the Dragons talking things through. As Valdas. Jasikanis heads to the stripe to shoot two. First is good. Hawks not huddling. So the second missed. But offensive rebound. Bubale, once again, doing amazing work. Adamaitis, what can he do? Hands off to Larin. Larin tries to find his spot on the floor. Good defense by Richards. Across to Edwards. Edwards kicks out to Towns. Rolls around halfway down on the triple. Now they've got to slow the Dragons down. Again, there is time in this game. This is not over. Far, far from it. And the Hawks need to remember that. Larin. How big have his three-pointers been? Goes up for another. Doesn't go this time. We did see an absolute circus shot of his drop earlier. As Towns is down. 4:30 left in the game. Still down. And he is a player who cannot afford to be hurt for the Hawks. Claims to be good. travelling a little bit gingerly there, but we'll have to take his word for it. 66 plays 57. Under 5 to play in the fourth. Triples on. Oh, shot from the foul stripe. That's good for 2. Justin Edwards. Now they need to stop. They got one last time. The Dragons. That is the stop they wanted. Towns with the turnover. Pass up the floor. Richards, good. 3 contact. Greg Richards headed to the stripe. (66-61), 3:49 to play. And crucially, Hawks done a great job with controlling their fouls. Just a 1 team foul in the period. As Palabinskas on mop duties. Greg Richards. Can't get the 3-point play. Good rebound battle though. Hawks with the ball. Turned over, Adamaitis. And again the foul on the shot. Foul called on Edgars Rosenthal's. Trying to plead his innocence to Dinesh Dalva. First off the mark. Gets the second. 67 plays 61. Again. Time. Still not horrible for the Hawks. They need makes and stops though. Edwards steps back, long 2. Goes. Good finish. Had 1 foot inside the arc. 67-63, 4-point contest. A 3 would be a bit of a dagger for the Dragons. They're looking for it. Boubele going inside. And the foul. So the foul's been called off, but a defensive 3 seconds has been called against Marius Mikvesius, so it's going to be Dragons ball. So a good outcome for the Dragons, and a much better outcome than we were about to get for the Hawks, I suspect. Kicked out to the top, Larin, Boubele. Triple, long triple, is all good. The Dragons, 70 on the board. Evaldas Jersekonis gets it to go. Richards had a couple of big moments. Another big moment for Greg Richards. 5-point game. He knows how to finish inside. Larin, Towns. 2 of the key men on this day. Richards battling. And the Hawks can come away with it. 3 contact, headed to the stripe for 2. Couldn't get it to go, Mikavicius. Would have been a heck of a finish. 2:17 to play, 4-point contest. .217 on the clock. 2 shots coming, Marius Mikavicius. Oh. Conversation with the table is for the table and officials only. Tadas Zobiela, who is assistant coaching today for the Dragons and effectively bench coaching. He would be playing today, but he's dislocated a finger, which is a nasty injury. Again, these guys all have day jobs. Can't afford to be more severely doing damage. But he's doing his part from the sidelines. Again, the Dragons didn't panic, stayed calm all throughout. First is missed. Stays a 2-possession game. A 3 ties it. 67 up for the Hawks. They need a stop. Goes without saying. Down low. And back out. Laddin. Gonna use that screen. Good switch in defense by the Hawks. Another screen. Towns with the strip. Edwards gives it to Towns. Inside, it's good with between one again. Dragons 70, Hawks 69. Dragons defenders, by the way, great job not to concede a foul. Laddin has the lane, tries to drop it inside. I think that's Richards. Got a touch to it. Edwards for the lead. And he's headed to the stripe. Jasikinus, not convinced by the steps. Third personal, Justin Edwards to tie it. We have a tie ball game, 70 plays, 70. 1:26 to play. And the Hawks, you saw it, you heard it, they take the lead, they're up by 1. And the Dragons, it's their time to call time. What a back and forth we have had today. Brilliant, brilliant start to the contest for the Hawks. They were super hot out the blocks. Couple of threes, a tough 2. They had it early going. But then, Dragons, never anything other than the epitome of calm. They've just slowly chipped away and they took the lead late first, early second period. And since then, they have looked the more comfortable of the two, but the Hawks have never gone away. Battle back. And now they lead with 1:26 to go. In the final period of the final game of the season. 7-3 record. Can they take the final? Only time will tell. We've got 1:26 to find out. Dragons players looking the most nervous they've looked all game. Over the timeline, Jasikinus uses that screen. Again, we're not going to see anything rush. They want to use as much time as they need. Great, strong defensive stand. The ball is going to be... There's conversation. I suspect that it should be Hawks' ball. They're talking it over. If it goes to the possession arrow, it becomes the Hawks' ball. And it does go to Hawks ball. Fantastic bit of defending. That must have been Justin Edwards. Stopped the drive legally, clean. Did a great job. Towns doesn't want the screen there. And now the clock slightly more in their favour. Richards battling through. All ball. Just sickening a bit. Lassin. A 3 surely settles it. Trouble's on the way. It's short. Edwards with the rebound. The foul on the hands. Just sick of this. There's 38 seconds to play. They'll be looking for that final team foul. Give them possession, maybe. Do they trust their defense? Do they go for the stop? That's a huge screen. Nothing wrong with that from Richards. And Richards gets it underneath. Can go up for it immediately. Had a play draped all over him. Takes the contact, no good. The Dragons with one final chance to win it over the timeline for Larin. Just sick of this. 7 to shoot it. Just sick of this. Puts up the prayer. Puts it down the triple. It's nothing but net. What have we just seen? And the Hawks, they take time. An impossible shot of Valdez. Just sick of this. From the corner, had no business, had no right making that shot. That is sensational, the Hawks. Now, how long do they have? They have 4.1 seconds. That's a lot of time. Plenty of time. They've taken time out. They can advance the ball. Clock is no longer a factor, so they should have the ball in the offensive territory. And a 3 wins it. A 2 sends us to overtime. A 2 and a foul. Hey, who knows? Who knows? This game has had it all. And it's heading down to the wire. So they have advanced the ball. Communication between the officials, just watching out for holding fouls and such. Oh my goodness, 73 plays 71. The Hawks, they have to execute. A 2 ties it. A 3 will undoubtedly, surely win it. They have 4 seconds. That is some time. Goes to the top with Edwards. Edwards uses the screen, puts up the 2, puts down the 2. We're tied. 73-73. The buzzer. We're headed to overtime. You might have just heard him. I'm built like that. I'm built like that. Justin Edwards, with the season on the line, keeps it alive. We got 5 more minutes to separate these two. In fact, the Dragons, they seem to think there's 2 seconds left in the period. So we'll see. Is time added to the clock? So Edwards saying he used all 4 seconds. I can buy that. It was close to the buzzer at least. And the Dragons, they think they can win it in regulation. And then another added wrinkle to this one. Given the amount of chat, okay. 1 second. 1 second. So the floor's going to clear. There's 1 second on the clock. Well, well, well. Hands up, no foul. If they send them to the stripe and they hit, oh, what a way to end the season. So an impossible shot, followed by an improbable shot. Now with 1 second, it's going to be Sasha Larin. So it can be a catch and shoot in this time. Remember, the clock doesn't start until it's been received. Sasha Larin. Skips it. The triple. Just short from Paulus Adamaitis. And we're headed to overtime. We'll be back in just a moment. Overtime period. It's Hawks ball. Five minutes overtime. It's Justin Edwards. Going to inbound. 40 minutes can settle them. Surely. What can 5 more minutes do? Good move. Can't go. As he stayed down there. Pranas Bubele. Even with Edgar's Rosenthal's trying to drive through. So it's Hawks ball. Greg Richards to inbound. Again, players trying to get calls, trying to argue after the fact with the officials. Just never going to go your way. Foul on the floor. Called on Adamaitis. Because both sides are in the penalty, it's immediately free throws. At the stripe, Justin Edwards. First off the mark from Edwards. As is the second. Strong screen set. Kept in bounds, but that's Greg Richards' ball for the Hawks. Towns kicks to the corner, triples on the way. Into the hands of Richards. It's a big 2 points. Handoff driving inside. Richards. Solid defense, clean. Great pass, great play. Jessigonis does the spectacular and does the very, very regulation stuff too. Too strong on the shot from Richards. And now Jasikanis. No call on the plate. Either way. Edwards keeps hold of the ball. Richards. Back to Edwards. Challenges him. Tries to play the handoff. And that's Buble. Good through contact for 2. Clean. It's Towns. Shoes straight off immediately. So there's no foul on the floor, no foul on the play, which is what that signal from Naningay was. Remember, he got dinged up a little bit earlier in the half, or in the second half. He's looking okay, it's Towns. His side down by 2. Richards kicks it to the break, to the top. Off the mark. And Richards is going to head to the stripe for 2 more. Again, he can tie it with 2 made threes. 2:56 left in the overtime period. First is good. Second is good. 77 plays 77. Jasikanis gets the lane and is fouled by Towns. Valdas Jasikanis back to the stripe. Gets the first. Dragons back up by 1. Gets them both. Jasikanis has had an enormous game. It's a big part of the period 1 fight back. And it's just been near enough everything for this team. Certainly a big part of it. That's going to be a held ball. That's a huge defensive stand by the Dragons. It will be their ball. Again, I think he got involved in that as well. Holding his elbow. I don't know if he's just trying to dry it off or is been injured in some way. I mean, hopefully not. Looking for the dribble handoff. Jasikanis can't go. Off white. It's going to be Dragons ball. Again, neither player was sure who wanted it. Weren't able to communicate effectively. Over the top. Jasikanis. Gives it to Lassin. And that's going to be Hawks ball. They're down by 2. Now it's go time. Winning time. Jumps on the way. Just off the mark. Adamaitis does a good job staying in bounds. Has the lane. Just throws it up to Buble. Ladin. Picked up by Towns. Double screen coming. Greg Richards went for the strip. Justinikovs. No good. Edwards has it stripped, gets it back. Spin move, looks for the pass inside. Mikovicius was already heading down. Final minute of play. Larin can be picked up by Towns. Screen's coming. Battles around the second screen. Jasirkanis. Foul is called. Greg Richards. I mean, it's tough, but you can't have too many complaints. You could hear the contact when he went for the strip. It's risky. They played such patient basketball up to that point. 2 shots, 32 seconds. Still a 2-point ball game. 79 plays 77. And of course it is. It had to be Valdez. Just sickness at the stripe. First is good. A 3 ties it. This to make it a 2-possession game. Doesn't go. And the rebound pulled down by the Hawks. They've got to move quick. Richards finds Edwards. Edwards just over the timeline. Thought about pulling it up for the long 3. Richards as well. Kicks it back out. Going inside through contact. Couldn't get the shot for the and 1. Headed to the stripe to shoot 2. $16.1 on the clock. Do you go for 2? Do you hit the rim and hope one of your rebounders gets it? Decisions to be made. 16 seconds to go. There's the championship trophy. First is off the mark. So nearly the hero. Took us to overtime. Strings to second. It's a 2-point game. 16 seconds to play. No foul on the play there. And a foul comes later. They want the unsportsmanlike. They're not going to get the unsportsmanlike. Foul on 13. So it's going to be 2 shots. Just sick of this. Now this surely will. 10.5. He makes 1. Again, it's 3. Makes them both, it's 4. Dragons know how close they are. First is off. Again, in this incredible game, the Hawks stay alive. Second is off the mark. They get the rebound, the Hawks. They can win with a 3. Skips over. Triples on the way. It's blocked. Inside. And that'll do it. The South Links Dragons have won it in overtime. The shot was there. A brilliant block. And a fantastic victory for the Dragons after a amazing game of basketball. Both sides, the officials, the scorers, the fans made this a very special day for the Cambridge Basketball League. They had the shot. They took the shot. It was a good look. And ultimately, it's always a winner. And unfortunately, always a loser. Two teams battered it out and played an amazing, amazing game of basketball. As you can see, the presentations are going to be a very quick affair. As the runner-up medals are awarded to the Dragons. Sorry, to the Hawks. My goodness, Huntingdon Hawks. And the championship trophy. Well, they won the league. And they've come through a tough run in the playoffs and won the most incredible game. They are the champions. The South Links Dragons are the league champions and the playoff champions for 2022-2023. That's going to do it from all of us. A huge thank you for checking out the game. And a huge congratulations to our champions, the South Links Dragons. And we're going to do it all again next year.